There is something to be said about redemption arc for comic book characters and all they went through and all that they still have in front of them. One such character that has a lot of redemption is Bucky Barnes, the former Winter Soldier. Now various actors and the actor himself, Sebastian Stan, open up on if it's possible for Bucky to be redeemed in the MCU. So there's a difference between unknowingly doing what you're forced to do because you're mind wiped and made into a assassin that they control at will, and having to live with that once you realize what they did to you, but you didn't do it from your own free will. And there's something to be said about redemption arc when you mind wipe a whole town and control them, and then you have no remorse for it and just sort of take off and leave them in their pain, while also hijacking the Book of Dark Magic to use for your own greedy will. Yeah, I'm throwing shades at Wanda fans. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, yeah, Bucky, you look at his character arc, and we're definitely learning more about the character and who he is. But is it possible that the character can fully be redeemed? And that's one thing Sebastian Stan wanted to touch upon in a recent interview, and honestly, quite a few interviews if you really just look around everywhere. And he says that if you look at Bucky for what he's feeling, the remorse, the pain, and what he's done, and if you go back through the episodes we've seen so far, specifically the moment in the first episode where he's friends with the man who we learned that the Winter Soldier went after his son, you understand that he's trying to cope with what he's done, but he realizes it wasn't really his fault. So he's trying to redeem himself while realizing that it can't really fully be done. He's just got to sort of accept it for what it was, go through a journey of discovery, and figure out his new path. And can he actually come out of this with a redemption for his past actions? And Sebastian Stan says that that's something that they're still going to work on, and that's Bucky's arc. It's really about becoming a man that accepts what he's done, but also isn't always looking down on himself for the terrible things he was doing when he had no control over it. And Sebastian Stan teases that the story's not over. Even when it comes to the end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when we get there, the story of Bucky and his arc will continue, and it will all obviously reflect on the past, but also have a new future for the character. And I think that's all we really want. Like, you can never completely leave the history behind you, but you can learn from it. Maybe you know that you finally realized you made a mistake or you did something, and you can overcome that by admitting it and moving on to the next step. We see that grief, pain, and these bad memories are something that's very much a part of Bucky's entire existence. And I personally feel like it would be a disservice if they suddenly just go, yeah, he's overcome that, let's just make him a hero now. And that's not really how you do it, because he's done some pretty terrible, despicable things.